Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to call this board meeting to order and we're going to turn it over to Patty.
Okay, everyone is here. We have a quorum. We have no guests. I'm going to go right through to the agenda. This is an emergency board meeting. We need to talk to you, board, about in late August, we were notified that the Roland E. Powell Convention Center will not be available for our use for the 2026 primary early voting and the primary election day. I went ahead and notified Commissioner Matresic, Delegates Hartman and Otto, Senator Carrozza, and Diana Chavis, who's Ocean City Clerk, for assistance in trying to help us convince the Convention Center to rethink their decision. However, the Maryland Municipal League and State Firefighters Association have booked the Convention Center, and all the rooms in the Convention Center are going to be used, the dates of early voting and election day. Plus, there'll be no parking available because they're both large events. So Teron, Teresa, and I immediately began searching for suitable sites. We looked at over 15, I think it was 17 that we looked into. The only site available and willing to allow us to use their building is the Ocean Pines Community Center. The community center is smaller than the rooms we usually use for early voting, but we have no other alternative. And time is of the essence in securing this site for the primary because the state wants us to have everything in place by November 24th. We have to submit our plan. The office, I feel, and I think Teron agrees with me, I don't know how Teresa feels about it. Historically, the primary is a low turnout. You know, we're lucky to get 30% turnout. So I think that even though the building is smaller, we'll be fine with it because it's a primary. There's no, they're not going to charge us for the use of the building for the 9 days. That's 1 day for setup and the other 8 days for voting on that. So I need to have the board discuss and make a motion to either approve or to keep looking for a place.
So we make a motion to use the community center.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so moved.
Now, will the state have to approve that?
Yeah, we approve it and then we submit it to the state and they approve. Yeah. Concerning the primary election day for Ocean City voters, the only available site we found, we also looked at 15, 16 different places, was Princess Royale in Ocean City. So Teron, Teresa, and I toured the facility and we found it to be exceptional. The room is large, better facilities, I feel, than the convention center. They have a large parking garage, and where the parking garage is, it's not that far of a walk to the room.
What street's it on, Patty? Roughly?
It's past
I
Convention
think it's
Center.
90th.
Oh,
is
it's
it?
up in the 90s? Okay.
It's past Convention Center, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
that
past
the one that used to be pink?
Contract real quick.
I'll look for you.
That's all right.
Okay,
And plus they got that drop off area.
9100 Coastal.
90, yeah, 91st Street, 91st Street. We've been sent a contract to use it for $1,000 and it's 3 rooms. It's Palmetto 1, 2, and 3 for, June 22nd. That's when the machines will be delivered. The 23rd is election day. And then to pick up everything on June 24th. So for 3 days, $1,000, I don't feel is bad for a place in Ocean City. Very fair pricing, I feel. In order to reserve the rooms for the primary, our office needs to sign a contract and pay the deposit so that the rooms can be held. So I emailed Weston Young, the administrator, and then a few days later, I emailed Candace Savage, the deputy, explaining the issue, explaining the pricing. Told them we had, it wasn't funded in our budget originally because we didn't know the convention center wouldn't be able to host us. But I can find $1,000 in our budget to pay for it. I've not received any response from them. I asked if I needed to meet with the commissioners and explain, and I've not received any response. I've emailed twice. The Melania, who is our contact at Princess Royale said they can only hold the room so long, they need the contract and the deposit paid. So I'm concerned right now. If we don't do this immediately, we're going to lose that room and then we'll be back
Back to
at
square
square one. So I would like to ask the board to approve me to go ahead and contract and submit a payment for the deposit so that we can use Princess Royale
For election day.
for election day, just the primary election day.
We really don't have a choice.
We don't.
Can I ask a question? Why don't we have the voting day back at Ocean Pines? Why switch?
Well, this is for Ocean City voters only. This is for election day.
And that's
It
a
has to
polling
be.
place election day.
Say-
Ocean Pines is a polling place election day.
Okay,
Yeah, for voters in that district.
Yeah, we already use that as a polling place election day.
okay. Oh, all right.
But yeah,
Okay.
District 7 is Ocean City and we have to have a
Oh,
polling
right,
place
right,
in
right.
District
Okay.
7.
I'm with
So
you.
that's why, yeah,
I'm
it
with
gets
you.
a lot.
Sorry.
You're all
It
right.
is. All right.
It's confusing.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
Jeff made a motion, Martina.
Um,
I need a second.
Second.
That's all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any unopposed? Okay, so moved. The next issue is in talking to Melania, she mentioned that the same rooms are available for the general early voting and general election day. We asked her about June because I thought that way we could have both early voting and primary there, but someone has booked it for a wedding during the dates of early voting. She said that the cost would be $3,000 for early voting, but that's 9 days of being there. 1 day to move in everything and set up, and then 8 days of early voting. And then once early voting's over, we pack up everything that same night.
And is that the cost also for election day there?
No, 1,000. It's one-
Additional to the 3,000 would
Yes.
be 4,000
Would
for
be-
the total if we were
right.
there. Okay.
And I wanted to talk to the board about that. It just seems like the past 3 elections, we've had to really fight to get space at the convention center. And I get it. They're there to make a profit. They don't charge us anything. So when we book it 2 years in advance for the next election, we're shown this nice room, but then as events get booked, we're pushed from room to room. And last time we were at the end of a long hallway and the voters complained about the walking, first from the parking lot to there, and then having to go up the steps and go. I didn't know how the board would feel about if they want to discuss using Princess Royale for all future elections and early voting. If we book it 2 years in advance, she could guarantee the rooms.
It's just me, and you said the parking is.
It's right there. It's a parking garage right at the entrance.
And they got a pull-up too. that-
Yeah, they do have a
Like
drop
if you
off.
need to drop off someone or something.
Mhm.
Because we don't need to be in the position again where you're scrambling.
I
And
think
if-
it's gonna be every election.
And if they can commit
Mhm.
for us in 2 years, I mean, an actual commitment.
Is it big enough for early voting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's bigger than the rooms we've had at the convention center.
And, because the last time we were split up in different rooms
Right.
and this will be all open.
I think Martina makes a good point. If we can get a commitment,
Mhm.
so we don't have to jump through our butt.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
agree.
because when you find out in August and you're scrambling and you've
Yeah.
already looked at a minimum of 15 places.
Right.
15 places to look at, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And we
That's a
know
lot.
Ocean City is not gonna probably be happy with it because for the general, they have an election and they put us next to them then.
But then that's something they are gonna have to contend with,
Yeah. Mhm. Exactly.
you
All
know?
right, so Ocean City's election will still be at the
Mhm.
convention center.
Yeah.
Maybe that will encourage
Encourage them to put us.
and
in.
commit.
Yeah.
How does everyone else feel about it?
So Ocean City will have to go to the convention center for their election
Mhm.
and then
And
go
then
over to,
Or vice, yes. Mhm.
And then say,
Something like
say
that.
that
Then
again
you
Yeah.
have to go over to the
Mhm.
hotel to
for,
vote for the
in
general.
general.
for the general, okay.
But it's not fair to us every year to
Yeah,
have to
you're
look
right,
over and
right.
find, and it's not fair to the voters.
No,
For early voting, you won't have to worry about the parking. I mean, that's always an issue,
right.
It's up to you guys, but
Oh, no,
So
it's
some of us
just,
said we have to go to 2 places.
That's what
If you vote in the town
If-
election.
Yeah,
Town, town.
yeah, so it doesn't affect us, but.
Yeah.
Now, will they have early voting the town?
No,
No.
No,
no, it's just one day.
Okay.
Mhm.
I remember 2 years ago, they wanted to put us out in the lobby.
I remember that,
Right.
right.
And then the fire marshal said that's
Yeah.
a hazard because there's other events going on and you know, it just seems like we have to fight every time.
And we understood they couldn't put us right next to them for the whole 8 days,
Mhm.
but used to, we had a decent area.
Right.
And, you know, it's just getting worse every year, it
Right.
seems like. And I think it's marketing, you know,
Yes.
that's understandable.
Right.
Is this something that the commissioners have to approve of, even though we said that we would like it, but we have to go through them?
It's the board's
The
decision.
board's okay.
And then, of course, it'll be the state.
And then the state will have to approve it.
But it's almost like your hand's being forced.
Mhm.
You know, is it fair to be scrambling at a
Yeah.
last minute?
Right.
we have the funds for $4,000.
We will in the, if we do this in November, because it's a new budget year, we would put the funds in.
Oh,
The,
it's a new budget, okay.
right, but what I'm worried about is if we don't, then the voters are gonna have to go somewhere different for the primaries
That's what I was thinking.
and then the
then
general, and then they're not gonna know.
Because right now,
Where
they're
to go,
gonna
be
have to go early voting at Ocean Pines, then they're gonna have to come to Princess
Yeah.
Royale for the election, and then the general, you're going back to Ocean City, so I think, yeah.
Now, we do have the convention center for the general, if we want, right?
That's what they say.
Okay.
But what we're saying is just do everything at Princess Royal.
We do right now.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
know, it'd be more streamlined, but
We
it's a
do
board
right now.
decision.
Yeah.
Right.
Right
Yeah.
now.
I'm confused. Can just one person tell me what your proposal is, Patty, for
Instead of splitting the primary election day and general election day between two separate places, we just go with Princess Royale,
Okay.
and that's a one-stop for both
that's the
primary
primary?
and the
And
general.
Primary and
Okay.
general.
Okay. and the
And
city
she would be willing, if we give her enough notice, which we'd be able to even have early voting there.
Okay. And then
The general.
the town's elections, they're gonna be at the convention center.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there any way they could choose to come?
They'd have to contract with Princess Royale.
Is that something that should be suggested to them so people don't have to go? They don't have to, but so that
Right.
they don't go make, so that if we approve this today and it gets approved by the state, shouldn't we give the city of Ocean City the option to consolidate it?
Well, we would notify them that we wouldn't
Okay.
need them for the
Yeah.
general, and then,
But this
Let
is
them
only
know.
the general. Primary is still, it just voted on.
yeah, the primary will be at Princess Royale. That's the only place we
Voting
found.
day.
The
Voting.
voting
Yeah, election
Right.
day.
But early voting will be at Ocean
for
Pines,
Pines, right?
election
And
day,
election will be,
Princess
Princess
Royale,
Royale.
and for the general, everything would be at Princess Royale of ours.
works for me.
Just need to be as proactive as we can, in
I think
my
I
opinion.
I think I understand.
It is a.
It is, it's back and forth.
When I
And just
listen
think
to
about the
the-
voters when they get this card and say, well, go to Ocean Pines and
Mhm.
come back to Princess Royale, and the next time go to the convention
If
center.
I was an Ocean City resident living in town, I think I would be a little upset.
Well,
against that other
exactly.
place
Oh,
If I
sure.
chose to vote that way, and I could always mail in, I guess, both of them, but you know, if I chose to vote that, way, that just seems inconvenient.
Well, that's only because they're so used to doing it.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yes, yeah.
Which was a convenience for them anyway.
Right,
Right, and
Right.
Ocean City calls this problem,
right.
not us,
It's-
because they won't even let us be for the primary, you know, because my feeling is because they don't have an election, so they don't really have to worry about
Yeah.
it. That's personally, but I don't know if that is. I'll read that in, so I don't know.
Healthy people would probably wouldn't be a problem, but somebody that had a mobility problem or
Mhm.
disabled problem, I would see that as
Yes,
an inconvenience to them.
exactly.
Then it's gonna be on Ocean City if we pass it to decide
Yeah.
what they would like to do.
No, I understand that, yes. That's why I said
Yeah.
we should be.
Yeah. They have more rooms than the three that we're using.
Mhm.
They have the
Well, I'm familiar with
expanding
Princess
ones, yeah.
Royal rooms, yeah. Used them many times.
Yeah.
Plus, they have a cocktail lounge.
That wouldn't be open in October.
Yeah, and the
It's off season.
bathrooms are right outside
Mhm.
of the door and everything.
They may open it in October.
Sounds like a very good solution today.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept Patty's recommendation.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right. Then everyone should have a copy of our, right now I've named it tentative, 2026 polling places. It's a chart. The only change, of course, is for the primary only Princess Royale. And I will change that. You'll see right underneath that, it says general only, Roland E. Powell for District 7
Right.
at the bottom. The ballot drop box locations are the same Pocomoke in our office, but the one that is usually at the convention center is going to have to be at the Ocean Pines Community Center because it has to be where the early voting site is. And that will stay there the entire time.
What about the change for Pocomoke since they expanded the district out? Or there's no LP?
Yeah, that's our next
Okay,
item.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, got
That's
it myself.
It's all right. That's all right. But this is just the precincts. And like I said, I'll change the primary in general.
Now, for the general, the drop box is gonna be at the hotel.
Yes, it should be.
Yes, for the
If
early
we're gonna
voting.
have the
And
early
Ron
voting,
did talk to Lanny about that, right? The Dropbox
Yes.
for the early voting. Yeah, I remember her saying that they could put it out there.
That's not gonna be an issue, is it?
Well, the lady that booked the room for us, when we talked to her about tentatively using it for early voting, she didn't see an issue with it. I think you sent her pictures and everything of the, did you?
Security of that Dropbox.
Yeah, she's okay with it.
What
Yeah.
about the video surveillance of the Dropbox?
We
Well,
have new cameras.
We have
Remember
new
had problems with
cameras,
that, had
and the
complaints.
camera's attached to the Dropbox.
Okay.
And they're run by solar panels,
Oh, you-
right?
You have them now.
We're, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
probably have security too. you think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they have security.
They probably got
And it's
cameras
open
everywhere.
24/7, somebody's always at
You
the
always check that.
registration.
Yeah, most locations.
Yeah, but if you don't have an agreement with it at a time to be able to view it, then you go right
That's
back to
right.
the same problem you had with the fire
That's-
company.
that's right,
Yeah.
Well, we'll be able to see the
Yeah,
film.
But if they're self-contained and
Mhm.
it has the ability to self-power itself, then I don't see there's an issue.
That's why we went this way. So we could export and get the data. We don't have to go through somebody else.
Yeah,
Right.
each Dropbox will have their own camera.
Yeah. I remember that issue.
Patty, I'm sorry, I don't mean to do this.
Terry, it would come back again.
On primary
It would.
voting day, we use these, right? All of these are open?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I will update it. I'll send you an updated, once we double check about the, or I've corrected about the general being at the convention center. And I will notify them and let them know they have the option of getting a room next to us.
Now, hypothetically, what if they would come back and miraculously be able to put us back?
Say that again.
But you know what?
And I don't see how they can with the municipal league and the firefighters. I mean, that's,
I don't either,
that was the
but
whole thing.
Parking would be a disaster.
exactly, I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
I can
I think we stay with what we
Yeah.
have.
Yes,
We're gonna
exactly.
Go through it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all will.
Well, we gave them in 24, we gave them the
Right.
dates of the 2026 election dates, so they knew it ahead of time.
Right.
But like I said, I understand, they
Mhm.
make a lot of money
Yeah.
off these
Yes.
events, and they don't make any money off of us.
Mhm.
So I do.
But then still, when do you do what's right for the good of the people?
That's true.
Exactly.
That is true.
Money talks.
Yeah, we know that.
So is everyone okay once I, change this to Princess Royale?
Mhm.
And that's for the general.
Mhm.
Also.
Yes. And then I'll update it and send it up to the state. I guess I'll have to have everyone make a motion, vote to approve this list and just take it that I've changed this
We'll make,
Princess Royale.
we'll make the motion to approve the list with the changes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Last thing I have for the open meeting is the consolidation update, which is what Jeff was asking about. We want to take two portions of District 1-1 and consolidate them with the middle school and the Newark portion where they formerly voted. We want to put the people back, even though they'll be in District 1, they'll be able to go to a polling place closer to them, but they'll be able to vote the proper ballot. Teresa and Tron and I sat down and marked up some precinct lines, and Teresa's worked really hard with planning and permits to get the numbers of the voters and the precinct lines good in the mapping. Do you want to speak on that, Tron?
Sure. I actually did an analysis for the state. And I have it. I
You
put
have
it in your,
paper.
package there. And what it is a breakdown of like all the polling places that will be affected. They wanted to know what the effect would be on those polling places. Now, we knew even before the analysis because a lot of these people are just going back to the place that they were before.
Right.
So we knew that the polling places could accommodate them. And that's what it was about. If we had a place, we're gonna end up with way too many people or way too less people. And of course, that won't happen. I couldn't get the numbers specific, like all the way to accurate to the point, because with the proposed breakdown of the new precincts in District 1, I had to get that data from the planning department up at the government center. They don't have specific voters, they have address points or actual addresses. So obviously for us, we might have a husband and a wife or children all living in the same place. And so that won't reflect if it's just one address. So there's a small difference, you know, when it comes to that type of thing. But it's only a couple of areas which you'll see shortly where that actually has impact. Now, at the very top of that sheet, you'll see the current, and that's the actual way it breaks down right now. So we didn't change anything. We only have 2 precincts in District 1 right now. We have 1-1 and we got 1-2. And you can see their corresponding numbers right next to it where it says voters. 1-1 right now, which is the Kokomo Community Center. That one has 5,166. Now that was as of yesterday or the day before when I ran the report. And 1-2, of course, is just over 1,000. Now that's where they set right now. So if we didn't change anything, that's how it will be.
Okay.
Now coming down to the proposed section right beneath it, you'll see 1-1 and 1-2 at the top. Now that 3,019, you see Kokomo Community Center right there, because that's where they will be going. That's actual, and that's what I was talking about. You see the header above that, it doesn't say voters, it says residential addresses. That's because that's what that comes out. So the voter number will actually be bigger. But we know it'll be less.
Would it be closer to the 5,000 number?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but it will be smaller.
Okay.
All right, so it'll be somewhere in the middle. So that's why I wanted to point out those discrepancies right there. But if it could accommodate 5,166, we know it can accommodate less than that.
Mhm.
And the same thing is going to be for 1-2 as well. So those 2 were easy because they just get a reduction, which is First Baptist Church. So that's 870 address points, which will be, you know, just a bit more. It'll be under 1,068, but it'll be, you know, somewhere in the middle. So those are those 2. Now this is where things change. The added 1-3 and the 1-4, and you see their address points right next to them. So 138 for the 1-3, not a big deal on that, and the 446 for the 1-4, not a big deal on that either. If you look at the map for 1-4, it's actually the majority of District 1, but this is mostly landmass. Now, coming down towards the bottom, you see Snow Hill Middle School. On the left of these, you see Newark Fire Department. These are combination precincts. So they have multiple precincts going to that same building. So in Snow Hill Middle School, before this change, they already had 2-2 and 4-1 going to that location. And I know their exact amount of voters right there, and those are actually listed. But they will have that additional, at 1-4, they had that 446 address points. Those are gonna be coming into that too.
Right.
Yeah,
So that precinct will have 3 different ballots.
potentially,
So,
yes.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a discussion, one of them is actually same as, you know, so they might share,
Have to.
yeah.
Okay.
And so their total voters before this was 3,276, but they got that, those address points coming on. And that's actually a school. So that's a huge facility, so we can easily accommodate
Right.
that. And those people actually prefer that location. So that's gonna be a win-win for us.
We'll make them happy.
Yeah, we'll get a better turnout, plus we're reduced, provisional ballots too.
Yeah.
So that's all wins for us. And if we can get it to go through and if you all approve. Which you all actually already approved this, but this is just kind of showing the breakdown. Now coming down to Newark Fire Department, which was the last change, where we added 1-4 as well. This will become a combination precinct. It wasn't before. They currently have 522 voters, and that additional 138 address points is coming on top of that. That's still going to be under 1,000.
No big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how it actually breaks down. That's how it reflects. Now that that 1-3 place and that 1-4 place, it's going to be the same for both of them. They'll be going to closer polling places, and they're actually preferred polling places. So all wins for us on that.
And the polling place can handle it because these people were there
They were
before.
there before. Exactly.
Mhm.
And if you were interested, I actually printed the current map that we have, which is in front of Patty. And the draft version of what the new District 1 will look like, that one is actually in front of the president here.
I have a question. Out of the 446 addresses, are all those being comprised from the 1-4 addition to the change in the district?
You said the 400 and something?
Yeah, the 446 addresses for Snow Hill. Is that all coming out of 1-4, or is that,
Yes.
are you moving people like might be closer to Snow Hill that used to vote in Potomac anyway? That, you see what I'm saying, Patty? Yeah. So,
I think we looked at that and we picked up the ones that used to vote in Snow Hill
Okay.
and drew the line accordingly. And that there are some, the ones that are closer to Pocomoke will go to Pocomoke.
I just wondered if 446 seems like an awful big number of residences for that 1-4 area.
Yeah, well, it's, you'll see how it's.
Well, I'm familiar with how they did it.
Yeah.
So this is how we changed
They
it.
just, we just changed it.
We
Yeah.
changed it. All we changed is our precinct, adding our precinct lines. We didn't change the districts themselves. We just added precinct lines.
But there's still 446 addresses would be going to Snow Hill or,
Yes, Snow Hill and Newark would get 138.
right. I
Yeah.
can see where the 138 comes from
Right.
from Newark. That makes sense. But that 446 addresses out in that big chunk of land that used to be the Western District of District 4 is, just seems excessive. But anyway, I was just curious, did they all come from there? Or did you
They
make
came
some of
from
them up?
District 1 because they were in 1, correct?
Yeah, no, they all
Come from 1.
Yeah, those 446 are all from 1-4. Yeah, from that.
So it's like a lot of the people out in the forest, all the way out, and then those on Snow Hill Road.
All the way up to this county line.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. That seems 446 residents seems a little excessive for that.
Yeah,
As
that's-
Tehran pointed out, it's a big land mass.
Right.
And I was just curious. You answered my question.
That land mass, I mean, that's actually, that's definitely, it looks like to me, it's more than 50% of District 1.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
what I,
because of one.
so when you consider that, and then you look at actual 1-1, which is still, like 3,019, I mean, it seems kind of small. when
I think you look at the
think about
demographics in the geographical area, so it
Yeah.
does make sense.
that.
So help me understand it, because seeing the 446 in two different places. So.
Oh,
It's a-
because 1-4.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
proposed breakdown versus the actual order going to Snow Hill.
Okay.
The second.
If
is
you
where
look,
we're
it says
putting
voters and addresses. You have to kind of like pay attention to which one is
Okay.
number of addresses Tehran got from DRP versus the amount of voters that you had on your list
Right.
from before.
And like if you compare them, you can see where we brought the lines, if you needed to see that.
So are we proposing to put that 446
back in Snowville Middle School.
Okay.
And that's
Oh,
where most
okay.
of them majority
Okay.
were
All right.
before.
Okay.
So that's basically what it is anyway, just putting people back where they were
Right.
before.
Right.
But they're still in the
Just
newly
They're
created.
They're still in the new one, but at least they can go
Go
back
to
to
the
the
polling
place they
It's
were
just
at.
really
You take
changing
somebody
the
that lived on
polling.
St. Luke's Road last time, had to go to Pocono.
Right,
now they-
exactly.
So,
Yes,
And
and
then-
all the complaining
Yeah,
that we
and then
got.
all back in the forest, a lot of them had to go to Pocono, which was used to coming to Snow Hill.
Yes.
Now they're gonna get cards.
Oh, yeah, they'll get new cards. Yeah. And the specimen ballot will show them too.
So I threw this together because I was trying to put the stuff down on paper so I could really make it clear to myself, like how to break this down and how to explain this to somebody. So this was kind of like roughing some stuff down on paper, but I guess it came out okay because it seems like Jeff, when you followed it quite well, it seemed to me. So it seemed like it turned out okay.
Are there any other questions?
And it's already been approved though. right?
Yes.
You already approved it.
We did approve the consolidation.
Do
Yeah.
they need to approve?
I would
the
approve
precinct
the plan now with the numbers as shown. So,
And
so
the
I'll need,
precinct changes lines.
right.
It was an update. You didn't need a motion or anything on that.
I would say, well, because it's part of our polling place plan that's going to the state, I'd feel better if we have a motion accepting it.
I make a motion.
What's going to the state? Just the map.
Just letting them know that we're breaking out
Yeah.
2 areas and consolidating them.
Yeah, and they have to approve everything.
But you don't have to tell them how many voters are going.
No, we just want to explain that they used to be in this district and the polling place was closer to them. So even though they were moved to a different district, a lot of them went to the
But,
old
but
one.
the issue that happens is that the people that are there, they get frustrated at you because they think you made this
Mhm.
map.
Right.
It was
Yes.
the county commissioners
Right. It was the
that
commission,
drew the map.
Yes.
Right.
And then
And we
they
would tell them that. We'd say, you
Yes.
need to call the commissioners.
And if they were not here.
Whoever answered the phone, they said, no, you need to talk to the Board of Elections. So they thought we were, you know,
And also they would go back to the old one because they did not go to Pocono. And then they were voting the wrong ballot style. So they were, only
Yeah.
part of their ballot was counted with a
they had to vote a
provisional.
provisional.
So this, helps
This way,
them.
they'll be voting for the correct commissioner and Board of Ed
Mhm.
candidates.
Martina made a motion.
She did make a
Yes.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's all I have for our regular meeting. Anybody have anything before we close this and go into closed session?
All right, meeting's adjourned.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Will there be one more? We don't have another meeting while you and Patty are, you and Teresa are still here, right? We can have another official.
This will be our last one unless we need another emergency. Never know.
I know we said this before, but on behalf of myself, that I appreciate everything you've done throughout the years as I've dealt with both of you for a number of years before getting appointed here. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn.
So
Second.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, ended it.
Now we need to go into our closed